my friends, hello my Simmers. So today we are making a small bar for Sims to go to downtown. Now there are a lot of downtown locations that ship with nightlife, but a lot of them are kind of large, they have a lot going on, and they can be kind of hard for my computer to handle because I don't have necessarily the best or fastest setup, and I can't always handle a lot of graphics or Sims in the same place. So I'm making a small, very easy to play, very easy on the computer kind of bar. And I've based the design of this place off of a few different places I've been in New York. It's a mixture of kind of a historical place and then a renovated sort of industrial look inside that I think works really well for the downtown environment. So I'm making kind of the base, even though there aren't any buildings right alongside it. I'm sort of pretending that there are, or maybe there are alleys, so I'm making it a long brick building that you would find in an older city block like that. But inside you can see like this bar I'm grabbing is a little bit more new, a little bit more fun, more updated, but it's still in that historical shell of the building. I'd like to imagine in real life. So I normally live in New York, but I'm currently not there due to the COVID-19 situation. I'd like to imagine this would probably be a place somewhere in like the West Village, I would say, just based on the architecture I put around it, and it's been updated inside. So I'm thinking like Small Fries, this bar that I've decided to name it in the Sim world, is kind of an institution. It's been around for a while, but like ownership has changed hands. It's still like well regarded as a place, but it's a little mismatched sometimes. I think we've all probably been to some places like that. And honestly, making this made me feel, it made me miss New York. It made me be very happy for whenever this is over. So I'm sort of tiding myself over by thinking about that in the Sims world and letting them go out wherever they want. I also really wanted to include a venue space upstairs because I think that's a good thing to include in these downtown locations that I think is really fun. I know technically in the real world just having this kind of loft overhang for that section might not be the most practical just for sound reasons, but I think in The Sims it works. I've been to a few places that have sort of a back room that's sealed off, it's got soundproofed on there. And people can perform back there while the rest of the bar operates normally outside. So I kind of was going for a similar vibe. I have just one like any gender bathroom here because I think, first of all, that's the most efficient space-wise. Second of all, it's The Sims. We don't need like gender segregated things. And also because I feel like in these kind of places, a lot of times there's just kind of one bathroom with like a weird door. I tried for so long to find the right bathroom door. I wanted to use this one that looked kind of scuffed up with stuff on it. But then I realized that was actually a dorm door for the university dorm, so I did not use that. So with that weird kind of red cheap door, I tried to get at that aspect. I also was trying to put the right amount of lights in here where it was still easy to play and not too dark, but also like still had that vibe. And I really love these ceiling lights. I feel like they're the perfect thing to add. They add the perfect amount of light in there. And I love these side lights too, like that red one I put in the bathroom, because I feel like it's it works. It adds to the vibe and it's bright. I also decided to make this a restaurant because I'm seeing this as in the game, it'll probably be played as like a date venue. And nothing annoys me more than when, you know, you're someplace with a Sim and then their date or your Sim decides like, oh, dine out with whoever. And you're like, oh, I didn't go here. Like they don't have expectations like real people do, that if you're invited to like a certain place that you don't expect to have a dinner, you know, you wouldn't then wish like, oh, go to dinner in the middle of that situation. But it's The Sims, so they're that way. So I decided, hey, maybe there's just a few tables that are sort of communal. I was really looking in that downstairs table, it's kind of long, for like a high top version of that because I think like high top tables make more sense for this, but there wasn't really something I liked, so I settled for a normal size table. I do wish there was some sort of mechanic for like high top tables for Sims to stand around. I think that would be so cool. But anyway, that's the explanation for why I decided to make it a place you can dine also, which I feel like makes sense for this kind of hodgepodge venue. Oh, roofing. Roofing. I really had a time roofing this thing, but I really like how it turned out. I wanted to make it a little quirky, a little historic. I could not figure out, even with Move Objects, how to get windows above this like first floor roof I just put on, sort of awning type guy. And I tried for a while to make a lot of things work, and nothing really worked, so I think I eventually just decided to put a sign on there, but that's fine. And I found these windows, the ones I just had on, yeah, those guys, that are a little more historic looking, very like Federalist era, that I think really show off the vibe that I was trying to do. So the lower windows are a little more recent, the upper windows are more historic. It might be a historic building, maybe they can't change it. Originally, I was thinking, as you can see, just that one roof, but it looked kind of wrong because this kind of looks like a building with another building as an attachment, and so that's the idea I went with for the rest of the roof. So I try to do different sloped roofs on that right side to convey that it's different, so I do this kind of faux roof thing, but I'm not completely happy with, so you'll see me go back and you'll see what I eventually do to it. I also was trying to carry over the city feel for the rest of the lot, and I didn't want Sims wandering through the whole thing. So I just kind of tried to blend it into the sidewalk there and sort of make an alleyway. If/when I put something on the left side of this lot, I'll carry through that alleyway on the right side of that lot. So you can see me doing this, totally forgetting the name, but basically the small wall around the top of the roof that I feel like a lot of buildings in New York feature. I debated whether I should put roof access on this, but I thought with the loft and everything going on, that would be too much. But I do think in a future build, it would be fun to have roof access for a flat roof that kind of looks like that, because I've been on many of those roofs, and I feel like they're a very quintessential city thing. You can see me replace it with fencing now that looks a little better with the roof. It blends in more. I also wanted to add some just easy fencing there, some wrought iron fencing, because I feel like it adds to that historic touch. And as I was saying before, I did not want Sims roaming all behind this place, because in my mind, like, nothing's really there, you can't really do that. So I just kind of fenced it off. You can see I'm getting to the stage where I'm just kind of doing these last touch-ups. I'm looking for something to put over that part of the roof over there, because it looks a little bit bland on its own. So you can see I'm looking through all sorts of decorations. I think about this umbrella stand, and then it looks too modern. But I'm kind of liking the look of putting a sign on. So you can see I'm going to zoom into a bunch of signs and try to decide which one is the most bar-like, because there isn't necessarily a bar sign, which is something I actually might look for, like something in neon I think would be really cool. So I settled on that cow for a hot second, and I think I go back and change it to something else shortly. I tried to build a lot of this in night mode too, because I feel like that's when I would want to visit the lot. That's when it's supposed to look good for me, even though, of course, you usually build in day mode. I also played with streetlights for a while, and I kind of decided, I don't know, they were cluttering too much, they were adding too much light. I wasn't exactly happy with where they were, like in relation to the road or anything. More signs. I feel like the signs were the most indecisive I was for this entire build, but I wound up with this starry thing that I feel like conveyed the vibe of what I was looking for more. And to spruce it up, I added some trees with the little wrought iron around them, which I thought matched, and also kind of gives the vibe of like, oh, the city just like planted 2 trees here, whatever, and they had to put stuff around them so they don't get messed up. Yeah, and you can see I play tested this a second, and they couldn't get to the DJ booth, and I needed a dance floor. I totally forgot about the whole dance floor situation, so I added that in. I was also looking, is there anything else I wanted to spruce up, and the answer was no. I'm taking Caster Nova, and I had him run through and play test it. Thank you for watching another ScrunchieSims video. If you like this content and you want to see more stuff like it, you can hit subscribe. You can also follow me on my Simbler, scrunchiesims.tumblr.com. Thanks for watching.